Okay, so I've had this book for a while. It's the book by Fedor Emelianenko, who recently had his last fight. And it's by these people at Victory Belt Publishing, who've made some really good books. Really good. And I want to go over this with you and show you what it teaches. So, what year was this written? 2008. So, as crazy as it sounds, that's 15 years, that's 15 years ago. Mental. So, and the one thing you'll find as we go through this book together is that there's nothing really that fancy in it. It's just the basics, but like a very specific training atmosphere, you know? Like even in this first picture, you'll see that I think that's Fedor there. He has his hands wrapped. He's not wearing a rash guard. Like, if you have grappled wearing a rash guard and then not wearing a rash guard, you will be able to tell, you'll know it's a big difference. The sweat is unbelievable. How slippery you get, it's crazy. Also, grappling with, excuse me, grappling with your hands wrapped or not, big difference. So you can see right off the hop, you know, they're training in a realistic manner, you know? And here they are going for a lovely walk in the forest, not wearing any shirts, you know, or whatever. So, After spending the first 2 years of my life in the Ukraine, my family moved to the industrial city of Stary Oskol, located in the Belgorod region of Russia. I wonder how he feels about the whole war in the Ukraine thing. Anyway, here they are riding ATVs. Again, still not wearing shirts or helmets, but that seems, whatever, it's Russia. I don't know. Here they are. Here's a fellow hitting a hammer and hitting a tire with a hammer. There's a big difference between hitting a tire with a hammer and hitting a hammer with a tire. Maybe they do both. I don't know. Whatever. Striking. So you'll notice that, like, the first thing he shows is how to stand. Like a very basic, you know. Then what does he show you? Snap jab. The straight snap jab. You know? You start with a jab. What's after the jab? Again, the straight long jab. You know? I mean, I did boxing years ago for like, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. You know, back in Winnipeg, because like the Cuban boxing coach was like in Winnipeg after he like, I think they had like the Pan American Games in Winnipeg, and the guy like decided to stay in Winnipeg rather than go back to Cuba. Anyway, and he taught at this martial arts club I was at for 3 or 4 months, and I did boxing with him, and this is the stuff he showed us. The left hook. Lead power hook, you know? And again, I only boxed for like a few months, but I recall much of this stuff. Overhand jab. Step in, overhand jab. Lead step in uppercut. Excuse me. Straight cross. You know, he showed you the jab, now he's showing you the cross. And all, like, it's very detailed. The long cross. Yep. Back in Pride, Fedor was kind of known for the way he like rotated his hand and hit with almost like the back of his hand, you know? He's doing that a bit here. Right hook. Step in right hook. Right uppercut. Right step in uppercut. Right outside low kick. I mean, so he's shown really, I don't say it's basic boxing, but he's shown you boxing. You would learn this stuff in any boxing gym, I think. And now look, he's moving on to like basically Muay Thai. And the first kick he shows you is the most common kick used in Muay Thai. You know? So it's nothing fancy. Right outside mid kick, you know? This is probably the second most common kick seen in Muay Thai, a kick to the ribs, you know? switch step outside mid-kick. You know, people do this in Muay Thai all the time. You know, you're here, you know, boom, boom. Right push kick. I believe this is called in Muay Thai the teep. In Jiu-Jitsu, it's called the pizao, although they do it with the front leg, you know, sometimes. It's the push kick. It also exists in Taekwondo. I forget what it's called, though. I think we just called it the push kick. You know, this is maybe the third most common kick used in Muay Thai, mixed martial arts and whatnot. So, and now look, now he's showing you how to stop those kicks. You know, how to not get kicked on the outside of the leg. So there's nothing here that's, you know. Now he's showing you this one, lead mid check, where he's touching the elbow to his knee. He did this, I remember watching Pride. I remember seeing him do this so many times. Because it's an entire shield to that side of your body. You know what I mean? See? Yeah, I have no idea what would happen if his leg went under here and hit this knee, you know. But he's not hitting you in the thigh or in the... Maybe the whole idea of kicking someone in the calf is only a modern development in mixed martial arts. I don't really see it happening in Pride back in the day. The calf kick happens a lot now in mixed martial arts. But anyway, whatever. This is a defense to, like, maybe he's hitting you in the head, maybe he's trying to hit you in the leg. You defend it. All right. No problem. Rear low check. See again. How to check. Kick to the leg. I guess you're starting in a different stance here. When you're in the traditional stance, fighting an opponent in the ground's traditional stance, and he attacks the lower part of your body with kicks, the majority of the time he will target your lead leg. That's my Russian accent. It's pretty good, huh? I was in radio for a while, so I developed a talent for accents. Whatever. Look, here he is blocking another kick in exactly the same way, you know? Cross-check block for a push kick. See? If he tries to push kick you, you cross-check it. You know? Counter-attacks. Slip jab to counter, jab to cross. So now he's going on to like sort of intermediate boxing, maybe that, you know? See? He jabs at you, you slip it, plow him, and then plow him again. Boom, boom. You slip his jab, jab him in the face, and then... I remember doing that years ago in boxing classes, you know? Slip jab to... excuse me. Slip jab to 4-punch combo. Right? Slip his jab, and then... jab, hook, cross, cross. I'm tempted to say that's exactly what he did to Tim Sylvia, but I don't recall. It was something along those lines. He just floored him with a combination punch. Counter jab with jab hook combo. See? He's slipping and then jab to the ribs, hook to the face. Man, look at that picture. What did they possibly do? You can see his hair is flying around. Do you think Fedor really smoked him? Good Lord. How do you get a still picture like that? But for Fedor really blasting the guy. Whatever. Lead back to 3-punch combo. Yeah, he jabs, you lean back, and then 1, 2, 3. Slip left jab to low kick counter. See? He jabs, you slip it, punch him, and then kick him. Counter jab to switch step to mid kick. Yeah. He jabs, you slip it, and then blast him. Slip left hook to right hook to low kick. All right? Yeah. Slip the left hook to right hook to low kick. Yep. Counter across with a cross. Yep. Slip cross with cross to uppercut. Slip cross to 3-punch combo counter. Slip cross to 3-punch combo counter 2. So again, this is not, you know, I think a lot of people, when they got this book, they were expecting how to learn like combat sambo. And maybe this is combat sambo. But to me, it's just showing, so far, basic boxing and basic Muay Thai, you know? Although it gets into some other stuff soon, you'll see. Counter cross with sidestep uppercut. Counter cross with sidestep lead hook. Counter cross with sidestep lead hook combo. Check low kick to cross hook kick combo. See, check. Cross, hook, low kick. It still blows my mind that years ago, Mirko Cro Cop and Fedor fought, and Fedor beat Mirko Cro Cop from a standing position. Like, I thought that was going to be a striker versus grappler fight. And then Fedor was like, you know what? Even though this guy is, you know, maybe the world's most dangerous stand-up fighter in mixed martial arts, I'm just going to stand with him. I'm going to beat him standing. And he did. It was unbelievable. And Mirko Cro Cop was probably thinking, I'm going to stop this guy from taking me down, and I'm going to light him up while standing. That did not go as Mirko. There was a few times, I think, in Mirko Cro Cop's career. That fight and the one with Gabriel Gonzaga, but man, afterwards, he probably was just like, he had to go reevaluate his opinion of himself and reality, you know? Check outside low kick to straight knee. Boom. Counter right low kick with overhand. Yeah, if he goes to kick you, you can blast him. See? Counter right high kick with left low kick. See? He's kicking high, you kick him in the back of the leg. Yep. I sometimes tell people that if someone's kicking high, you should kick them in the leg, but kick them this way, in the front of the leg. That way you hyperextend their knee. But this is also good. Counter left kick with right low kick. See? He's kicking, you kick him in the back of the leg. There you go. And again, is there anything thus far that seems to be mind-blowing? No. You know, I mean, we'll get to a few other things, but so far it is what it is. It's stuff you'd learn in any boxing, kickboxing, mixed martial arts club, I hope. You know? All right, so striking attacks. And again, this is like jab to right hook, cross to hook, lead inside hand trap to right cross. So now he's going to like intermediate boxing. Lead outside hand trap to straight cross. Far hand trap to cross to left hook. Right hook to outside low kick. You know, like, I'm more of a grappler than a striker, but even I have practiced many of these combinations. Jab to cross to outside low kick. Jab, cross, low kick. Cut kick to switch step to head kick. Cut kick to switch step to push kick. Superman punch. You know? You're faking the kick and instead you do the punch. And to me, I mean, sometimes it's the pictures. You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Look at this. It's a bunch of dudes, many of whom are not wearing shirts. See? Look at this. The two guys wearing shirts. It's like, hey, you in the shirts, go to the back of the line. It's a bunch of guys not wearing shirts, right? Running up a super steep hill in God knows where. And do you see any distractions there? You know? Do you see any wives or kids or, you know, flaky girlfriends, anything like that hanging out? No! You know, they're not in Las Vegas. They're not in Rio de Janeiro where there's, you know, all these things occurring to tempt you away from training hard. They're out in the middle of God knows where with other lunatics training like lunatics. And that's why people in, say, I don't know, Kazakhstan or wherever do very well. Or back in the day, Pat Militich's team was in like Bettendorf, Iowa, where by my understanding there's corn and there's the training facility. So every day you would train or just walk around the cornfield bored as hell. You know? No distractions. Anyway, the clinch. You know? The clinch for boxing, the clinch for Muay Thai, the clinch for throws. You know? Lead double uppercut. Body uppercut to left hook. Body uppercut to right uppercut to left hook. Body uppercut to uppercut. You know, like, you think he likes uppercuts? Maybe. Right hook to left body uppercut. Straight knees from Muay Thai clinch. Right? He's even saying, look, it's Muay Thai. Have you seen the word Sambo thus far in this book? No. And really all Sambo is, I mean, I don't know the exact translation, but I mean, it's effectively, well, there's different kinds of Sambo. There's one kind that's like, more like judo, but with no chokes plus leg locks. There's this kind, which is like mixed martial arts, and there's another kind that's kind of like Aikido, kind of. Anyway. Counter in Muay Thai clinch. It says Muay Thai right there. Although this could be the work of the, you know, the ghost writer, so to speak. Maybe they were calling this Sambo, Sambo, Sambo when they were doing it. But Muay Thai clinch escape, you know? Double leg scoop slam. I'd like to point out here that Fedor, when he does the double leg, look where his shoulder is. It's up in the guy's chest. It's not down here by his hip. If his shoulder's down here, the guy could sprawl and put weight on him. And there was an interview years ago where Fedor said, someone said to him, hey, how come you don't shoot double legs on people? He's like, well, I don't want them to sprawl and have their weight on me. You know, so even here, even though he's shooting a double leg, his shoulder is so high, there's no way you can sprawl. And then he thumps you and, you know, pounds you. You know? We did this throw years ago when I trained a lot of no-gi. I called it the stool. You put your foot behind, you put your knee behind the guy, you make him sit on the stool, you know, and then over he goes. You know? Body lock countered outside trip. See? So this time, the guy has the double underhooks on you. But you still throw him in effectively, not the same, but a very similar manner. You know, you dominate the upper body grip, you bend him over your bent legs, sit him on the stool, and over he goes. Inside leg trip from over-under control. Yeah? Ouchi, you know? Major inner reap, or whatever it's called. Osotogari from over-under control. I mean, he doesn't call this one Ouchi, but this one, look, he calls it Osotogari. That's judo. You know? I don't know if I ever saw him do this in a mixed martial arts fight, but there it is. Hip toss from whizzer and wrist control. You know? He's shown Ouchi, he's shown Osoto, now he's showing hip toss. I mean, this isn't really a judo. It kind of is. Failed hip toss to uppercut. And see, now we're getting into what Fedor was really good at, which is like switching between the styles. He was so good at effortlessly transitioning between judo foot sweeps, boxing, throws, and there's some other stuff we'll get to. But here, he tries to hip toss him, doesn't work, uppercut. You know? And remember, when he fought, it was just the start of mixed martial arts. A lot of people back in the day specialized in one thing. Like he fought Minotauro, who was all about jiu-jitsu, you know? He fought Mirko Krokop, who was all about kickboxing, you know? Fedor was one of the first guys, as crazy as it sounds, to be really high level at everything. Shoulder bump to gut wrench, back trip. Get behind him, dump him. Knee block. I remember I saw this in a Randy Couture instructional video years ago, where the guy's back's to the fence and you cup his knee and then run him along it and dump him. Leg scoop to inside leg trip. Cross body inside leg trip. I don't know if I saw Fedor ever do this in mixed martial arts, but I am not going to argue with Fedor Emelianenko. Yes, sir. I don't know if I would do this in a mixed martial arts fight, but I don't know if I would do a mixed martial arts fight. Well, I know I wouldn't. You know, now I'm 50, and even when I wasn't, I was like, I can't do that. I can't bring myself to hurt someone that badly, you know? That's why I love jiu-jitsu, because you can win. The point of jiu-jitsu is to win a fight without hurting somebody. You know, you put them in a submission hold, they give up, you walk away, you have a laugh about it. In mixed martial arts, you have to hurt them as badly as possible, as quickly as possible. And I'm just not a mean guy, you know? I might be a little sick today. Outside foot sweep. This one, Hizaguruma. You push up on the arm, you pull down on the head, you block his foot, over he goes. Outside foot sweep 2. So now he's going the other way. You pull down on the arm, you push on the head, you block the leg. Is that still Hizaguruma? The knee wheel? I don't know. Knees to snap down to rear naked choke. The snap down, then go behind him and choke him. Guillotine to punching combo. See? Seems pretty obvious, but I mean, how many people back in the day were practicing this? If you can't choke him, if he gets out of the choke, blast him. You know? I don't know, man. I think things were being trained separately. Sprawl to rear naked choke transition. So before, there was a snap down to rear naked choke. Now it's sprawl to rear naked choke. Single leg defense. Here, I don't know if that's the greatest single leg. His head's on the outside, but if he's doing it, go behind him. And now here we are. Ground techniques, top control. That is what Fedor was especially known for. You know? If you're in his guard, here's how you escape your arm. You just... And bear in mind, he was as strong as a bull and as slippery as a fish. So you just rotate your arms to get them out. First you get your elbows out, then you get out hand 1, then hand 2, then you blast him. Overhook, hold down, counter 2. So now, before he got out both his arms and blasted him, here, he gets out one arm and blasts him. Body, head combo. How many times have you heard someone yell, body, head? You know, in this situation. 1,000,000 times. Kimura counter. And again, I could point out they're calling this Kimura. Maybe it's just the writer putting that in. But I mean, they're not calling it, you know, some weird Russian name. Or even the judo name. You know? Ude Garame, I guess, would be the judo name, actually. I think in judo, both Kimura and Americana are called Ude Garame. Anyway, they're calling it Kimura. So... And bear in mind, I mean, would you learn this in jiu-jitsu? Just pull your arm out and hit him? No. But he's, like I said, he's super strong and super slippery. So that works a lot of the time. You know? Blocking the Kimura. This, if he's got you dead to rights, go forward and grab the inside of your own leg. You know? See? Half underpass to overhand right. So is this super high level guard passing? No. But again, when you're super strong, super slippery, the risk to benefit ratio is on the side of benefit. Do you think Fedor would be showing this if he got, I mean, okay, he got caught by Fabricio Werdum, sure. But up until then, when he was back in Japan and, you know, strong as a bull and slippery like a fish, nobody could do anything to this guy. Half underpass to hook. See, look, again, it's up on his shoulder. He just goes in and starts wailing on the guy. Triangle escape to hook. He turns what I would call the wrong way. Not that I'm criticizing Fedor, but I mean, I would teach people to turn in this direction. Not this direction. If you turn in this direction, you're putting yourself deeper into the triangle choke. But that's what he does, and he's out, and he starts blasting the guy. There you go. Welcome to Russia. Leg pin guard pass to shoulder lock. You know? Again, is this super technical guard passing? No. But in mixed martial arts, man, when you're not wearing a rash guard or even a kimono, you're slippery, you're strong. Pretty sure Fedor knows what works. You know? And here he is doing the really nasty shoulder lock. Leg pin, guard pass to mount transition. See? Leg pin to mount. And then pound him. Foot lock. You're in his guard, you break his guard open. Fall back. See? He's doing what would be in jiu-jitsu called under IBJJF rules, he's reaping. Oh, you dirty bastard, reaping the leg, see? But there's a reason reaping is illegal, because it works. Standing pass to overhook. You know? Fedor throws the legs out of the way and then blasts him. How many times did he do this to somebody? Oh my God. Remember what he did to Minotauro Nogueira? Crazy. And no one had done that before. I remember Joe Riggs back in the UFC used to do this as well, but man, Fedor was good at it. Half guard to knee bar. He's in the guy's half guard. He goes forward, spins to knee bar. There it is. You know? I would backspin from here, but he forward spins. Okay. Fair enough. Shoulder lock from half guard top. There you go. Straight arm lock from mount. Punching him, he puts his arms up. And look, you arm lock him without even leaving the mount. Yep, over the back arm bar. He's punching, he goes in his belly. Do the judo roll. And there it is. Over the back arm bar too. Again, you're mounted, you're punching him. He rolls, you do the the shin on the back of the head trick. He rolls, you come up, you arm lock him. I would put the leg over the face, but for whatever reason, he's not. You know, I've seen guys get tapped by that. Shoulder lock from mount. What I find interesting about this is the fact that look how straight the arm lock is. I mean, the arm is. It's not 90 degrees at all, which would mean that you would have to rotate it less. You know what I mean? The closer this hand is to the head, the higher the elbow would have to be. But here, because the arm's so straight, that would be on super quick, you know? Although it also gives the guy a greater chance of escape, I think, but interesting. Neck crank, just pulling up on his head. Rear naked choke, one hand pulls his face up, the other slips through and chokes him. Flatten to rear choke. Yep. And notice he's not pushing it through so the elbow's off the tip of the chin. It's just the very forearm, right? Arm bar from rear mount. Again, this is the judo shin to the back of the head. Force him to roll. Oh, he doesn't even make him roll. He arm bars him from right there. Ground techniques, bottom. This is where stuff gets a little bit different. And again, I'd like to point out, he's not wearing a rash guard and his hands are wrapped. Overhand counter to Kimura. So he shows Kimura from the guard, you know, and again, he's calling it Kimura, not some crazy Russian name. Although I'd like to point out, he also is having the arm super straight. He's not doing it with the arm bent 90 degrees. See, he straightens it, which is interesting. Triangle armbar. See, put him a triangle and then do the armbar. Underhook sweep to armbar. See? Straight up into the arm lock. That one's pretty typical. Armbar from guard variation. See? This is the one I call going, you know, I call this going down the toilet because you like, throw the leg over the face, then you spin out under the guy and then arm lock him. You know, because your head's going like under him in that rote. Over the back armbar. This one's interesting. He goes to what I call the elbow crush, and then he puts the shin on the back of the head, and then he rotates, and it goes into the judo arm lock. Very interesting. I did that one a lot when I was a purple belt. Hip sweep. This one I've never done. Again, he's doing what I call the arm crush. Again, as the guy's defending it, he like uses his far leg to take out, and then he comes up on top of the guy. This is where it starts to get a little bit different. I have never done that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. He's not taking away the guy's arms, you know, because the guy could post, but I guess he's not going to. He's just fearful of this arm being attacked. So Fedor comes up on top, off a, what I would call an arm crush. Very interesting. Arm triangle to mount transition. He gets his head out. He gets that head and arm, and then he throws the guy over and ends up mounted on him. I've seen that a lot. I've done that a lot. Failed arm triangle to windmill sweep. Yeah. He wants to get his head out. He can't. And so he puts the guy over and comes up on top of him and then beats him silly. Windmill sweep from postured up guard. Yeah. I've seen this sweep before. Scissors sweep. I've always wondered about whether it's a good idea to do this, especially nogi, because you're putting your heel right on a spot to get heel hooked, but here he is doing scissor sweep. Side scissor to half butterfly sweep. So if his leg's up, you put your foot under it, and then over he goes. It's effectively the same. Basic bridge escape. This is not, look what he does. He's pushing on the guy's tricep, which I think is exposing his arm to an arm lock, but I guess he's thinking, I'm going to get out. And the other hand is cupping his forearm. But look at that. This arm is way up. I'd be super worried about him going into an arm lock right there, but I'm not Fedor. And look at that. He's still pushing the guy's arm. He comes up on top and then wails him. Crazy. Shoulder lock, counter, escape. The guy's trying to do an Americana on you, so you push his arm. Over he goes. You're on top. Shoulder lock, counter, escape, 2. Grab your own hand. Over you go. Throw a left hook to Kirill's head. Shoulder lock counter to armbar. I don't know why someone would try to do a shoulder lock on you from inside your guard, but that's what he's showing. And then what do you get? You get arm locked. I've taught that in class when someone tries to do a Americana inside your guard. See? Reverse bridge somersault escape. This is crazy. So you're bridging, and then look, you kind of get on your side, and then you throw your legs through the air to come up inside the guy's guard. Like, that, I have never seen that ever before. You know, I think that's based on being very strong, very athletic, and very slippery. You know? Bonkers. Mount escape to back escape. So here, he is turning his back. Look, he's mounted, and he purposefully turns his back. And then, from within the guy's, from back control, from the back grab, he turns to face the guy and then punch him in the face. Like, that is not jiu-jitsu, right? So we've started off at the start of the book with like basic boxing, Muay Thai, judo. Now this is based on a person being incredibly strong, incredibly slippery, and you know, if you stay there, you're going to get the hell beaten out of you. So you got to do something. And again, doing this relies upon you not having a rash guard on, or a kimono, obviously. But even wearing a rash guard, this is super hard because the friction coefficient's all wacky. Side control escape. He just puts his forearm in his neck and out he goes. Side control to side control. And that's it. So, yeah. Very interesting. I'd like to say on a final note, I'm really sad that Fedor's last fight was against Ryan Bader. I wish it would have been against Randy Couture, who was there shaking his hand. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?